There is a reason some people never fit in. A reason they always felt different. A reason they looked around at the world and knew something wasn't adding up. While everyone else followed the path placed in front of them, they started asking questions. Why do people accept things without questioning them? Why do so many people trade their freedom for comfort? Why do so many people stop searching for answers? At first, they thought they were the problem. Maybe they were too suspicious. Maybe they thought too much. Maybe they were just seeing things differently. But then something changed. They started noticing patterns. They started seeing how easily people could be influenced. How fear could control decisions. How information could shape reality. How people could be convinced to fight each other, while the real problems stayed hidden in the background. And that's when they became dangerous. Not because they wanted power, not because they wanted attention, but because they couldn't be controlled the same way anymore. A person who thinks for themselves is difficult to manipulate. A person who questions everything is difficult to silence. And throughout history, the people who challenged the system were often the ones who made the biggest changes. But systems don't like uncertainty. They don't like people who refuse to follow the script. Because someone who sees the game can no longer be controlled by the rules of the game. So what happens next? The person begins to disappear. Not physically. Something much more subtle. They become overlooked. Ignored, pushed aside. Their ideas are dismissed. Their warnings are laughed at. People tell them, "You think too much. You take things too seriously. You should just accept things the way they are." But they don't. Because deep down, they know something most people have forgotten. Comfort can be a cage. And ignorance can feel like peace. Until the day the truth becomes impossible to ignore. The world tries to pull them back. Friends tell them to stop asking questions. Others tell them to stop looking deeper. They are offered distractions, entertainment, noise, anything to keep them from seeing clearly. But once someone wakes up, they cannot pretend to be asleep again. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Because the thing that was meant to isolate them becomes their greatest advantage. Being overlooked gave them time. Being underestimated gave them freedom. While everyone else was chasing approval, they were building something. Knowledge, discipline, awareness, strength. The very thing that was supposed to weaken them was creating someone unstoppable. They thought hiding them would make them disappear. They thought ignoring them would make them irrelevant. They were wrong. Because history has always shown one thing. The people who are ignored today can become the people everyone listens to tomorrow. The person who sees through deception cannot be easily deceived. The person who understands manipulation cannot be easily controlled. And the person who learns to stand alone becomes someone who doesn't need permission to succeed. Maybe that's why some people spend their lives feeling different. Maybe they weren't meant to blend in. Maybe they weren't meant to follow the crowd. Maybe their purpose was to question, to learn, to build, to create something beyond the limits others accepted. Because the greatest threat to any broken system is not someone who wants to destroy everything. It is someone who understands the system and chooses to build something better. So if you've ever felt overlooked, if you've ever felt like you didn't belong, remember this. A seed grows underground before anyone sees it. A foundation is built before the building appears. And sometimes, the people kept in the shadows are the ones preparing for the brightest light. Your story is not over. It may have only just begun.